What's up guys, James here from Reflect the Screen, and yeah, I'm ready to review another summer popcorn film in The First Purge, which is the fourth film in the Purge series that's, found its audience. And this is actually not the fourth as in it comes after the events of the third, it flashes us all the way back to the beginning, First Purge. Now this installment is not directed by the director of the first three Purge films. This one takes on a new director in the chair. It's Gerard McMurray. This is his second feature film, and he's also a producer on Fruitvale Station, the awesome film with Michael B. Jordan. So there's definitely a grounded approach in this movie, which is really interesting. Well, at least it was interesting for the first 30 minutes. But moving on, we'll get to the rest of that later. This Purge film is actually written by the director of the first three, James DeMonico, who, it's funny because I've not seen the other Purge films, but from what I heard, this one takes a different turn. Enter story recap. So the first Purge takes place right after a recent election where neither Democrat nor Republican won. It was actually a new president from a, new party, the New Founding Fathers of America. And what they want to do is create an experiment, and it's going to be tested in Staten Island. This experiment, or as we come to know it as Purge, is going to put people on the island and have them stay, and they'll get paid $5,000. But if they want to leave, that's up to them. Thing is, this is a very low-income area that they're doing the experiment in, so they prey on the low-income families that need the money, and if they participate in the experiment, they'll go ahead and make more money based on how many people they kill and their activity. The film surrounds three central characters: Dimitri, played by Elon Noel, Naya, played by Lex Scott Davis, and Isaiah, who's Naya's brother, played by Joivan Wade. Now, the three of them sort of have stories that intercede, and we get to that throughout the first 30 minutes of the film. They kind of try to elaborate more on their backstory. Dimitri is a gangster. He's one of the most notorious gangsters in Staten Island, and he's very responsible for a lot of the cocaine in that area. Naya is the ex-girlfriend of Dimitri, and she's trying to stay away from that lifestyle. She makes it very clear that, I don't want no part of you, Dimitri. I don't want no part of you. But to be fair, they are a beautiful couple. And in the film, of course, you don't want to see Naya, who's trying to take care of her brother, who also gets involved in the drug stuff. You don't want to see her stay in that lifestyle. So she's trying to make an example for her family. Now the film, it does throw some surprise actors and actresses. Actually, the most surprising one is Marisa Tomei, who plays the psychologist that created the idea of the experiment, proposed it to the New Founding Fathers of America, and is willing to study it. Now, of course, Marisa Tomei, what else haven't we said about her? She's amazing. She's a great actress. In this one, she's one of the better actresses, but her role is really diminished, and I feel like that's basically the script after the first act. Well, the first act, what it does is it dives into what becomes of the Purge. How does it happen? Who is orchestrating everything? It gives you enough backstory to, put you on the ride. Because I haven't seen the other ones, like I said, so I needed this little refresher. Now, I'm not sure how other audience members felt about this, but I was okay with a lot of the backstory in the beginning. What I loved about The First Purge, which is funny, I'm saying I loved something about this movie, is that it had social commentary and it was really aware of itself in the current political climate. Yeah, things are over-exaggerated, they're Hollywoodized, if that's a word. But in this movie, I feel like director Gerard McMurray understood the direction he was going in, and he was grounded, and I think that's really neat that the script, well, yeah, it was cheesy in moments in the beginning of the film, it still had enough dialogue to keep me engaged, and it presented an idea that was, well, for me, unique. I get it, there have been 3 movies before this, but it was neat to see these characters kind of develop before our eyes. In a film that I understand is supposed to be like some C-level popcorn film for the summer. However, I think where the film begins to go downhill is towards the middle of the film when the action actually ramps up, which is so weird because, well, you come to this movie for the action and the horror and the gore and the crazy kills and creepy masks. But James DeMonico, I think, goes ahead, tears the script that he probably had for the rest of the film because it's weird. There's such a contrast. You have decent dialogue and then you have a bunch of cheesy one-liners that don't line up with what the film presented in the beginning. Now look, I understand I'm not supposed to be diagnosing this movie as if it were, some sort of layered approach to horror. But the thing is, it's a film that I sat down and I spent time with, so I figure, okay, let me go ahead and dissect it just a little bit. And unfortunately, I felt like I could turn my brain off in the beginning, but I just felt like a mindless zombie about halfway through the movie. I was sitting in my chair just looking at something on screen. Nothing really resonated with me and nothing connected with me. So I feel like that's an issue in and of itself. Now it's funny because the first scene in this film is incredibly weird. Actor Rotami Paul plays Skeletor, and that's not, I guess, his given name, but he's a drug fiend, and he really wants, well, drugs, and he's willing to do whatever he can to get money for drugs. So when the NFFA comes to him and says, we'll give you $5,000 to participate, and if you kill somebody, guess what, we'll give you more money. What do you think he does? Clearly he goes and he kills people. So he's our main antagonist. This is the problem with the movie though. It doesn't know who the bad guy is, so we're left in limbo with Skeletor for a good part of the second half of the film, and then eventually we find out he's not the antagonist, but the film was propping him up as one. So there's a bit of continuity error along the way, and I felt like the film didn't really respect what it did in the first chunk of the film. So what are we doing here? I mean, I get it, the film has to devolve into this stupid gore fest, but are we gonna forget what happened in the first 30 minutes, or are we just gonna trend in this weird, mindless direction where, yeah, I really was, like I said, a zombie in my seat, just watching what was going on. I mean, there are plenty of events that kind of support this bit of critique. There's a moment where Dimitri is saying, nah, I changed my lifestyle, man. I don't want these girls up in my apartment and stuff, so and so and so. But then 10 minutes later, he's welcoming it? Wait, we didn't see where he changed his mind along the way. It just sort of happens. That's a problem. And of course, I get it, it's a sea-level film for the summer. You're not supposed to come back and revisit this movie unless you have nothing better to do. I just feel frustrated because I really feel like the script was okay for the most part in the first 30 minutes because I knew what to expect going into the film. What I will give it is this. It knows its audience so well. It understands the demographic it's appealing to. So why try to be bigger than itself and possibly ruin the risk of making fans angry? Now, what I heard after the film was interesting. Fans were angry anyway, because in the beginning of the Purge series, they were going after higher class individuals and families, and in this one, they're going after the low-income population. So maybe they felt, oh, why are we going after low-income people now? But honestly, it understood the political climate, like I said, so there's nothing wrong with it. If I had to dig deep into my bag of notes and find another positive for this movie, it's probably the design of the masks, and also I love the contact lenses. So, see, I'm wearing glasses, but if I took them off and I was in the Purge, the NFFA gave contacts that would record your activity so they can monitor how to, well, give you money at the end of this entire experiment. Glasses on. The contacts were really cool. The different colors were nice, and I felt like it did add a certain level of, well, weirdness to the movie that it needed in some moments. I really feel like the First Purge is definitely one of those films you go in with no expectation. You pay matinee if you're gonna pay at all, or $5 AMC Tuesdays. Again, AMC, all at your boy, I'm giving you free publicity here. You just don't go into it with a lot of expectation. I really think that the Purge franchise, it felt done at the end of this movie, and I'm kind of hoping it's done because there's not much more you can do with this movie, or I'm sorry, franchise, so just drop it at this rate. The movie is really dumb, the action's not really that great for most of the movie, and the characters are at least interesting in the first half of the film. Dimitri and Naya have pretty good chemistry on screen. Why didn't we see more of this? Why? It frustrates me so much because this could have been much more than a, well, stupid movie because it's stupid. It could have been, well, this is a stupid movie, but I kind of enjoyed it, because there are plenty of movies like that, you guys. I'm one to kind of indulge in it sometimes, but in this case, it's not really worth the indulgence. Well, guys, if you enjoyed my review of The First Purge, please go ahead and give this video a like, and when you see this movie this weekend, go ahead and leave me a comment. Subscribe if you want some more content, because there will be more content. And for whatever that you don't see in front of the camera, it's on reflectthescreen.com, so go there right now. reflectthescreen.com, and you'll see much more. News articles, trailers, whatever it might be, whatever you want to see. Wait, actually, that might not be a good idea. Whatever I curate. Yeah, that's a better idea. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening.